This video was made possible by Brilliant. Start learning intuitively with Brilliant for 20% off by being one of the first 424 people to sign up at brilliant.org/HAI. So, I hear you want to learn why the world's smallest country has a railroad. Well, the Vatican has a railroad because the Roman Empire was awesome. There's the answer. Now, I know what you're thinking. You just gave me the answer, why should I stick around for the rest of the video? The Vatican, like Canada, is a pretty cool place. It has the world's highest density of popes, the world's highest wine consumption per capita, and compared to me, it's pretty huge. Compared to other countries though, it's on the smaller side. It's about 3,000 feet wide and 2,500 feet tall. If you took the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, and lay it on its side over the Vatican, you would be responsible for the death of thousands. Despite its small size, the Vatican is a fully recognized and sovereign country with its own government, its own banks, own stamps, own passports, postal system, radio station, police officers, firefighters, and of course, railroad. Being smack dab in the middle of Rome, it's not exactly hard to get to the Vatican. There are no border controls between it and Italy, so anyone can pretty much stroll into the country without even realizing, and there are also, of course, roads going in and out. Now, considering the runway of the nearby Rome Fiumicino Airport is more than twice as long as the Vatican is wide, there is no airport in the country. This isn't all that unique. 4 other countries don't have airports: Andorra, Liechtenstein, Monaco, and San Marino. Now, it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that the Vatican, the smallest country in the world, also doesn't have a railroad because plenty of countries don't have railroads. Libya, the 16th largest country in the world, does not have a foot of functional railroad track, but there are a lot of things that Libya doesn't have, like a functional government. Even some of the world's most highly developed nations like Qatar and Iceland lack trains. I don't know if it's related, but both countries have some interesting beliefs. Iceland believes in elves, and Qatar believes in wealth disparity. The Vatican, though, has a railroad, and quite fittingly, it's the smallest national railroad in the world. But why? Now, for the worst part of the video, the bit where you actually learn stuff. So, back during the Roman Empire, Italy looked like this. It was all together. But then the Roman Empire stopped existing, which was a bummer, unless you were Theodoric the Great, who ruled a united Italy under the Austro-Gothic kingdom until that fell, and they eventually became part of the Frankish Empire, which frankly sucked. And so Italy fell apart faster than a Kickstarter-funded startup into a bunch of city-states as it remained for the next 1,000 years until people remembered how awesome the Roman Empire was and decided that Italy should be united once again. Everyone thought that was a great idea, except the Pope, who controlled this land, the Papal States. The new Kingdom of Italy disagreed with the Vatican's obviously irrational desire to keep hold of the only territory they had, so they took it, and so the Pope wasn't happy. For the next 60 years, the different popes did not leave the presently unrecognized country of the Vatican as a way to protest Italy's claim to Rome, which is exactly the level of stubbornness I admire. That was until 1929 when the two parties signed the Lateran Treaty, which said, hey, we're chill, in exchange for money, a recognized sovereign state, and a free railroad. The Vatican rail line originates in Rome at a nearby rail station, curves off over a viaduct, then enters the state through a 35-ton iron gate that's closed when there's no traffic to keep Italy from invading by train, which I guess was a concern. Immediately on the other side of the wall is the Vatican City train station. While this whole branch is run by the country, only about 200 feet of track are actually within the Vatican, which definitively makes this the smallest national railroad in the world. You could walk from one end of the line to the other faster than you could walk to the moon. This railroad has been occasionally used by popes to get to the Papal Summer Palace southeast of Rome, but nowadays its main purpose is to get food and supplies in and out of the country without having to drive trucks through the crowded streets of Rome. With the exception of a once-weekly train for tourists, there are no scheduled passenger trains to the station. If you become the next pope and decide to extend the rail line to 2 or maybe even 3 stations, there are a lot of things you're going to need to learn, like which bank angle to use so that trains can go around curves without derailing, how much to adjust timetables to account for slower running during repair work, and how to open the Vatican's secret underworld housing the real Slim Shady. Luckily, you can learn 2 of those 3 things in Brilliant.org's Classical Mechanics course. This course, like all Brilliant courses, makes learning complex topics simple by first breaking concepts down into their intuitive principles, then combining those to build up to the answer. It's seriously the best way to learn. If classical mechanics isn't your thing, they have loads of other courses on topics like probability, astronomy, machine learning, and my favorite, logic. Best of all, you can try Brilliant for free by going to brilliant.org/HAI, and then the first 424 people to use that link will also get 20% off their annual premium subscription.